jamming. What's up? Hey. Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday. I was about to say happy Monday because I'm so used to seeing you guys at the start of the week. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. While you're getting in, everyone drop where you're joining in from. For anyone who's wondering, I'm listening to Music Soul Child in the back. I'm jamming. I'm having a nice little 90s throwback moment. Okay. Actually, I'm lying. Music Soul Child is low-key like early 2000s, right? Alright. Oh, yes. Python. Hey. What's up, y'all? Thank you for the compliment. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Yes, Mexico. Hi, Kenya. It's the lady of the hour. Can you go ahead and join in? Let's get started, y'all. I hope y'all are ready. Oh, my God. Wow. How New York of you. You're... I love it. Yes, Brooklyn. That's where I'm joining in from. Yes, Dallas. I see some NC people coming in too. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How's everyone feeling? Okay, there's my little comment. Let's do a cute little pin. I'm getting so good at that. That used to take me like 30 minutes to do, y'all. Honestly, it's the growth for me. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Here we go. See if I can go ahead and add Kenya. Hello, hi. Look at your face. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you today? Is it Wednesday?
I'm doing. It is Wednesday, girl. I'm over here like, okay.
Tomorrow's gonna be Thursday. That's crazy.
Thursday, which means that we're already like halfway through the week. Me and my dad still do you this is like a real throwback. Do you remember that old school commercial? I think it might have been a Geico commercial with the camel that's like hump day, yeah. So my dad, me and him have been we've been keeping that joke alive. Exactly. We've been keeping that joke alive for like 10 or 15 years. So every time he texts me hump day, I'm like, is it really hump day already? Hey.
That's so weird to me. It feels like Monday and Tuesday were like this, and now I'm like, it's almost Thursday.
Exactly. And now I'm like, okay, it's the freaking weekend. Baby, I'm about to have me some fun. Wait, are we still allowed to like quote R. Kelly? Never mind, I digress. Anyways, right? I'm like, I forgot that was him. Sorry, y'all. No one leave. But hello, everyone. For anybody who's joining us, hello, welcome. My name is Kanique Swinson. I'm the founder of Soul Sister Network, and this is Master Manifestors. This is literally just a place for us to vibe together, for us to manifest together, for us to feel our best lives, get all the inspo that we need from a fellow woman of color. So we are getting into it. I'm going to let Kenya introduce herself, but I'm going to do what I always do, which is tell you guys how I meet the awesome people that I end up talking through here. I don't know if Farrah is able to join us, but Kenya and I both have a wonderful, beautiful, also very spiritual friend, and her name is Farrah. Her name is Farrah the Frequency. You guys will see her a lot up here on these lives and throughout my page. So if you don't follow her, definitely do. But she introduced both of us, and we both are from North Carolina. So that's a plus. Hey, NC, right? What's up? Hey. So yes, I'm just so excited. Kenya is the bomb. I can't wait for you guys to like hear her story so you can hear why she's the bomb. Like, I don't want to ruin all the surprises, but she has a story, like a story to tell. And one of the biggest things that I like to do on the page is I'll put a poll up and ask people what they want to hear more about, especially about like manifesting and getting like a sense of like where their goals are. And I did a poll about like money versus love, and it was like money like 90% to 10%. I was like, okay, so I see where your minds are at. Okay. That's where mine, exactly. I was like, that's exactly where my mind is at too. Hello. So I reached out to Kenya, and I'm so glad that she agreed to come on the show. She's fantastic. I'm going to let her tell you guys all about it, and then we can get into it. But I do want to say before we get started, for anyone that has any questions for me or Kenya throughout the conversation, definitely click on the questions tab below. That way we can keep up with them and bring them up and answer questions as you guys have them. Feel free to ask whatever question that you want. And if we can ask it, we will try our very hardest to. Between me and Kenya, I know we have the answers for y'all. So let's get into it. So Miss Kenya, tell us who you are, what you do for a living, and what your passion is.
So who am I?
Yes, such a loaded question, right?
I'm a Southern Belle, a healer, a lover.
Yes.
I am, as the youth be saying, my ancestors' wildest dreams. At least I hope to be. I strive to be. Currently, my 9 to 5 is my own business.
Yes.
So I am a financial and business coach for ambitious women who are pretty much tired of letting their money control them, and they want to step into their power and start to, you know, live an abundant life, align with abundance, and, you know, create the life and the business that they want for themselves. Pretty much a life and business that serves them. So I'm all about Black women getting everything and more that we deserve.
Yes.
And so through my coaching business, that's my mission. My passions are aplenty, and I know they will continue to grow as I grow as a woman. But I'm passionate about healing people. I'm passionate about my people, community, Black folks. I'm passionate about acting in the arts. I'm an actor. Singing, I also sing. Farrah also sings. And she's beautiful. And so, but I think ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm passionate about helping people, you know, realize their highest selves, honestly. And so before coaching, I was doing that in education. I thought about doing that as a therapist. And so all of it revolves around helping other people be better and see what they have inside them and be like, you are limitless. There's nothing stopping you from being everything that you've always wanted to be, especially not money.
Oh, Girl, I'm over here taking notes already. I'm like, okay, it's the beginning. I hope you guys heard that. There's nothing stopping you, especially not money. I love that. I know we're going to get so much into money and like the whole mindset things that we have to get over in order to manifest and get that kind of money and income. But I just want to say yes already, because that's hitting me heavy, because it's so true. Like me and you, we've talked about it. We'll get deep into it. But yes, thank you for that lovely intro. I hope you guys can already tell that Kenny is the shit. Excuse my French. So the first question I always start off with everyone, just because I'm always so curious, is like, how did you get into manifesting or like changing your mindset? Like, was it a book? Was it something that you were actively doing before, you know, and then you just figured out, okay, like there's a name for it? Like, what was your trajectory to manifesting, I'll say?
Yeah, I think in 2016 it all really started. That's when I started to get into astrology a little bit more, new moons, full moons, manifestation, full moon releases, and crystals. And, like, so I can just like write something down and then it's gonna come to me. And I think, you know, I'm a Capricorn sun, a Virgo rising. And so I'm all about, like working hard and making what I want happen for me. And so I think when I found manifesting, it was around the spirit. It was just more of the spiritual side as opposed to the hardworking, perfectionist, hustle and grind type thing. And it was really a matter of trusting the universe and like what's for you is for you. Like I remember a long time ago, my Twitter name was K Sarah Sarah, because it was like what's meant for you will always be for you, like whatever. I can't remember what it means now.
I think it's like whatever will be, something like
whatever
that.
Will be. And so I think I really just tapped into my spiritual side starting in 2016. I was 20 something, 21, 22. I was 22 in 2016. And so then I think kind of the crystals fell off, but now they're back. But I've been manifesting since 2016. I actually, right before I moved to Mexico, I wish I could show it to you. I threw it away. But I have this journal, this notepad filled with all the things that I've been manifesting between this new moon, or just randomly. Like, I don't need a new moon. I just want to write it down.
Exactly.
And where I am now, I've continually manifested and how I even got here. So I think in the beginning, in like 2016, I was definitely in a weird spot because I was applying to grad school and just trying to get in somewhere, like floating off the seat of my pants. But then as I started to align more with, you know, the reasons why things are happening in my life and more of an alignment, it was like, oh, this is really making sense for me. So I've manifested my job after grad school, my internship during grad school, you know, crossing into my sorority, living in New York City, living in Mexico, living in Florida, and it's just honestly a rolling ball from here.
Yes.
What else can I manifest? What else is aligned with my purpose?
Yes, I love this song. So you haven't touched on it yet, but I definitely want you to touch on it because I want people to hear how awesome this story is. You just said that you manifested living in New York, and then you also said in Florida and in Mexico. So I want you to tell us about your road to Mexico.
Okay. So it was funny. Okay, so just go back a little bit. I decided I want to get out of the rat race. I want to work for myself, and it wasn't just like I want to, you know, I want to be an entrepreneur like Jay-Z. It really was. I was super depressed, super anxious in what I was doing, which was what I was supposed to be building my career out of, getting a doctorate in. And for the longest time, I made a bucket list in 2016 as well. And a part of that bucket list was living abroad for a year, just doing nothing and resting. Yeah. And so this was fall 2019. I was like, it's time that this happens. I don't have anything holding me back. And so the funny thing is, last summer, I came to Cancun for my cousin's wedding. It was beautiful, whatever. Then when I finally decided upon, before I even decided upon Mexico, I have a wallet, like a separate wallet that I have like old cards in, you know, all your little like Food Line cards, all the cards.
Yes, Food Line.
Okay, yes, Food Line. And there was 500 pesos in there, which is like $10 US. And I could not, to this day, I do not know where these pesos came from because at the wedding last year, it was a resort. So like I didn't even have to use money. So I had these pesos and they're in my wallet, and I just kind of ignored it. I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll use it whenever I go.
Oh, I don't know if y'all can still see me. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. Kenya, let me know if you was getting good too. Okay, dope. I'm sure she'll join us in a second. Yes. Okay. We'll give Kenya a second to get back in. Okay, I hope y'all are loving this story already. The cool thing about Kenya, if you guys can't tell, is one of the main reasons I asked her to come on the show, that I'm like so obsessed with her and her journey, is that she actively manifested moving outside of the United States. And drop like clapping signs or like a yes down below if y'all have ever felt that energy. If y'all have ever been like, you know what? I'm tired of this church. I'm ready to pack up my stuff. I just want to go. I'm tired of being in this 9 to 5. Like, I just need some release and some rest or something. And that's exactly how I was feeling at a certain point. Not to say that I'm above it either. I don't know if anyone else has lived abroad, let me know. But I studied abroad in London for about a year. And I was like, oh, I'm definitely going back. But that's what I love so much about Kenya's story, is she'll tell us more about it when she gets back. But she actively manifested, saved up her money to move from the United States to Tulum. And she's been there now for a month. And the things that she's accomplished in that month has been crazy. She launched her own business earlier in this year during the pandemic. So that's another cool part I want her to elaborate and get into it with you guys about. But for anybody, does anyone have any questions for me? Wow. Oh, wait a minute. I lived in Copenhagen. I love it. I visited Copenhagen while I was abroad. Yes, Tulum, right? I haven't been to Tulum. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Merida and like Cancun, if like the airport counts. It was beautiful there. And I was like, this is kind of like a paradise. I would love to live here. So when I learned about her journey and what she actively manifested and what she did to get there, I was like, okay, I gotta have her on the show, because who doesn't want to know what it took to kind of create your dream reality? Because now she works for herself. It's no rat race. And me and her have a very similar story, to where we both were like, okay, I'm going to start my own business because I feel so exhausted from my current, career path. And that was totally me. I don't know if you guys can relate or not. Let me see. Oh, here goes Kenya. All right, let's add her back, y'all. Yes, let's wait for Kenya to get in. Here she goes. Hi, what's up, girl? I was holding down the fort.
The internet. Thank you for holding down the fort.
Of course, girl. Yes.
Jumping back into it, yes. The universe told me it was supposed to be Mexico, and from there it all aligned. I knew I wanted to live in a place that's obviously warm because I love the heat. I love Mexico. I love Mexico. Yes. I love Spanish. I love the food. I love the people. And so it was really just completely aligned. And it really took me having to see the signs so early on. Like when I found these pesos in my wallet, I wasn't even thinking about where I'm going. I just knew I was So yeah, but then with New York City, I was unemployed for 4 months, which, to be fair, it was fun employment because I was saying no to offers because I was trying to find what was best for me.
Exactly.
And in New York City, I was interviewing, but nothing had been solidified. And I remember I was at my friend's apartment in Raleigh, and she had like a whiteboard on her fridge, and I wrote down, Kenya's 25th birthday is going to be in New York City. Like, see you there. That was before I'd even moved to New York.
Wow.
And it happened, I think, like 3 weeks later.
Look at God. Come on, manifestor. Hey.
Look at God. So really what I found that has been really helpful for me is, one, being in alignment, being very sure about what I want, and then also writing it and also speaking it. Because speaking it will continue to align you with people that you need to be around. And I'd always I've heard people be like, don't say, move in silence type thing. And I'm really getting away from that and just saying what I want and what I plan to do out loud so that people know what I'm about. And if this is something that you're interested in, let's get up together.
Exactly.
And if not, let's not. So,
the more I get in my spiritual journey, I find that that's the same for me too. I feel like this message of like, you don't know what a hater is like, planning against you or plotting against you, that kind of mentality. I'm like, the older I get, the more I'm like, that doesn't necessarily align with me anymore. Like that whole move in silence thing. But yeah, I can relate to that. I think a lot of people do get hung up and are unsure about things, so they're quiet about it. But like you said, I think there's a lot of power, especially as women of color, to say out loud what you want. And I also think that the more you talk about it and put it out into the universe, the more likely it's going to come to you, because it's showing the universe, I'm serious about this, Right. So if you're not even willing to talk about something being a real possibility, then how does the universe even know you're serious? That's just the way I look at it sometimes. Not with everything, right? I do feel like sometimes if you talk about something, you could be putting like the cart before the horse. You know what I mean? Yeah. But majority of the time, I completely agree with what you just said. But yeah, the peso thing, I'm like, you have pesos in your wallet, you don't even know. Also, we were talking about this before, I'm a big signs from the universe girl. I'm one of those people that I will ask for signs actively, y'all. I'm like, look, God, if I'm supposed to go here, show me a peso. If I'm supposed to go there, show me this. Like, I'm that girl all day long. So that's why I'm such a big believer in signs. But for you to have pesos in your wallet and you don't even know how they got there, like,
I have no idea how I got those pesos.
That's the universe. The universe literally like slid that in your wallet months ago, and it was just waiting for the right time.
A whole year prior.
A year, and it was just waiting for you to open it up and receive that message. And then that's another thing. Some people get kind of hung up on like, wow, is this opportunity for me? Like, will I miss this opportunity if I don't take it? I feel like when things are aligned with your destiny, it'll reach you somehow. You know what I mean? You'll get that message eventually. So who knows? You could have opened that wallet up 4 months before, or had to do something in it real quick, didn't even notice those pesos, right? But you saw it when you were supposed to see it. Yeah. I love that. I love this song. Yes. Yes. Okay. So you had the pesos. You're like, boom, you had already manifested moving to New York. So what made you be like, okay, this is it. It's time now. What made you decide on like when to move?
When to move. Okay, that's a great question. So I will say, moving abroad, I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Like moving to New York City without a job, by myself, I was like, I'm still a bit doubtful, unsure.
Mm-hmm.
Moving
Mm-hmm.
abroad, period, whether that was Mexico or anywhere else, it was like, I know I have to do this right now. This is like,
Wow.
save me type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
However, so that's like the more spiritual, the gut feeling.
Yeah.
But then you get
So
into, so how am I
I,
gonna make this work?
yes, I want to ask you a question about that gut feeling because
Mm,
this is what the first couple of times that you mentioned it. For anybody who isn't familiar with trusting that gut and knowing what that sounds like, for you, what does that gut feeling, what does it feel like, or what does it sound like?
it feels very grounded. Like
Mm,
if my tummy doesn't have any butterflies, my heart is calm,
mm,
and it just feels right. Like it's kind of
mm.
like falling in love. Like you know.
That's
And
very
so
true.
when I know what's right for me, what's next for me, I kind of like dig into that,
Wow.
dig
Yep.
my heels in. And so that's why I said grounded, because it's like I'm unmovable because I
Mm-hmm.
know what's next. I know what's right for me. It's just a matter of how am I going to get there. So
That's
then the
beautiful.
wheels start turning. And then in terms of moving abroad, so this is
Mm-hmm.
now during COVID has now started. I'm building a
Right?
business.
What a time. What a time.
What a time to be alive.
Yep.
And I know that I'm going to move abroad. So my original plan, I put it on a vision board. I can show you the picture. My plan was one-way ticket, August 2021. And so, but then
Mm.
business is booming. The whole point was I was going to pay off all my credit card debt, save up some money, and move abroad. So
Yep.
I paid off $23,000 in 8 months, saved up money,
We
and
love to
moved
hear
abroad.
it.
And all of this happened in 8 months. So I started this journey literally January 4th, 2020, the day before my
Mm.
birthday. Are you there? Okay. Someone
Oh,
just
yep.
called
I
me.
can see you now.
My lease ended July 31st. I was on a plane August
Mm-hmm.
1st. And it took a lot of research.
Woo.
It took a lot of coaching. And one thing in particular that really helped me kind of move my plan
Mm-hmm.
forward was someone, also Farah knows this person too. Her name is Liz. She asked me, what do you need to feel comfortable, to feel secure doing this move? And I was like, oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
I want my business to make $1,500 a month, and I want to have like $3,000 saved, a very minimal amount. And then that was maybe in April, May. Literally 2 months later or 3 months later, I'm off on a plane. So I think so I
Mm.
already knew the gut feeling, but it was a matter of seeing, oh wow, I can do this. Is happening quicker than I thought, but also not being afraid of
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
So as I
Mm-hmm.
teach my clients, as I teach my community, don't be afraid of your power. So if you see that it's happening quicker than
Wow.
usual, roll with that, because that means it's supposed to
Yep.
happen at that time. Like, don't be afraid, because
Yep.
I had these lofty goals. Like, I want to save $25,000, which is a lot of money, to be moving abroad,
Mm-hmm.
because you live
Yep.
better for less out of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
it's honestly crazy. Someone said COVID has done me nothing but favors. And I know that people have lost lives, people have lost jobs, have lost wages, and I
Mm-hmm.
definitely feel for that plight. But for me
Mm-hmm.
personally, all it has given me is peace.
Mm. Wow. Honey, I gotta write this down. Because let me tell you something. I can relate, but I also think it depends on like where you are spiritually too and what you
Mm-hmm.
look at as like a favor versus a hindrance. Because for me in my journey, like sometimes God's rejection is his protection. So I don't take it personal, you know. So I lost my job in March, but the T is, I mean, if anybody from that job is on this live, like y'all were great. But in general, I did not like the job at
Right.
all. Like I cannot stress enough. So it was like, oh, okay, cool, I gotta do this job. And then God was like, all right, I'm gonna give you like 1,000 a week in unemployment. And then I was like, okay, like let me just exactly. So it's like, sure, I could look at me losing my job as like a negative thing, but also like, and like
Right. And
I'm
the
getting
funny
paid to,
thing
you
is,
know. So it just depends on how you look at things sometimes, you know.
yeah, and you have to be present and
Mhm.
grateful, and know and trust that everything that's coming for you in the universe is for
Mhm.
your good. It's not
Yep.
just things that are happening to happen, it's for your betterment. I went on spring
Exactly.
break. I took a vacation during spring break, and
Yep.
literally I never set foot in my office again, because right after that it was lockdowns. You talk
Wow.
about hindrance versus a favor. I
Yep.
remember, okay, so the job that I recently left, I
Mm-hmm.
applied to their master's program. I didn't get in. Okay, whatever.
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
literally 2 years later, I work there now. And
Wow.
that job helped me pay off my credit card debt, helped me
Yep.
move abroad. I also applied for a job at NYU Abu Dhabi. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get that job after grad school, but I did move to New York City, and then I was like right by NYU whenever I wanted to be. So it's like
Yep.
all these things happen when they're supposed to happen for your
Exactly. Exactly. That's the biggest. I love that. You said for your good. I think sometimes, especially with manifesting, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this and get out the way. Like just because you want something doesn't necessarily mean it's in your highest good. So I feel like a lot of people get tripped up when they're manifesting because you think that, like, for example, like let's say your manifestation was that you had to work at NYU Abu Dhabi and you didn't give the universe any space to bless you in any other regard, right? And you
damn.
took it really hard and personal. You're going to look at that as, you know what I mean? Like if you were to look at it that one dimensional, you could take it super personal. You could not want to do anything else. You still picked yourself up. 2 years later, you ended up in that vicinity anyway. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I love to say, like, give the universe space to bless you and surprise you, because you can say, like, I want it to be this way. But from my experience, the universe comes up with something 12 times better and like a little bit more dramatic, like a good dramatic for me. You
I
know
love
what
the
I mean? I
drama. I
love a
live for
good
the
drama.
drama.
Exactly. I'm like, so for me, I don't necessarily manifest the drama. I'm like, oh, I want it to be really peaceful. But then the universe will be like, here's a man. This is how you meet him. This is how he
Right.
treats you. And I'm like, okay, so
Yeah,
it gives you just a little sprinkle of surprise. So it's like, keep yourself open because you just never know what's going to come to you, y'all. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I love this. I love this. So you packed your bags, girl.
I packed
You,
my bags. I'm
yes.
here.
And how long have you been there? You've been there for like a month, right?
1 month.
And how is it so far? Like once you, okay, so question, once you did get to Tulum,
Mm.
you were already grounded, right? You were like, this is how I'm feeling. This is the best decision. When you get to Tulum, did you ever at one point go, what am I doing here?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. As soon as I
okay.
got to my Airbnb, I like broke down
Mm-hmm.
in tears, had a panic
Mm.
attack because I'm like, what the hell am
Mm.
I doing? I just
Yep.
moved. I don't have any friends. Like, I was like, why did I do this? Literally, and then
Mm.
that night, I met up with the one friend I did have here already. And also that night, she connected me with the guy who owns my apartment.
Love
Literally,
it.
so then we're talking about apartments, we're having dinner, whatever. I go
Mm-hmm.
home my very first night because I don't like my Airbnb. I don't like where I'm at. And I write
Mm-hmm.
down the place that I want to have, what kind of
Love
apartment
it.
I have. The
Yep.
next day, I go see this guy's apartment that he owns, whereas I'm living now.
Hey, spoiler
So,
alert.
I got a deck. It's a studio, king bed, beautiful bathroom, full
Yes.
kitchen, great Wi-Fi. And
Yes.
so manifested that. But the thing is, initially the price was higher than I wanted because I'm a financial coach, so I
Mm.
had a budget.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey.
as I was negotiating and waiting for him to get back to me, I wrote a budget. I said, well, this is what
Yes.
I think I can do. This is what I'm willing, how far I'm willing to go up. And
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down like, well, then this is what my budget is going to look like if I do this.
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay, I feel good with that. And that's what ended up being how much I pay for rent. So
Yes.
it's amazing. Sometimes I will say, sometimes you manifest things without knowing it, like without even
Oh, for
being
sure.
intentional.
For sure.
Um, yeah, that's something I realized.
Those are some of my favorite manifestations too. Like the kind that, like, sometimes you like might say something or you might think it real casual and then you just go on with your life. I feel like me and you we were talking about this when we were talking earlier. Like the key to manifesting is like being able to let go.
Let it
So
go.
for me, yep, for me it's hard to let go sometimes. I don't know if anybody else feels like that. Definitely drop something in the comments if you do. But it's like, okay, if I'm manifesting a job, of course I really want that job, right? So I'm thinking about it. I'm like eating and thinking about it. I'm sleeping and thinking about
Right.
it. I'm dreaming about it. Like that's just who I am as a person.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to manifest things that I think about a little lightly because it's so easy for me to like let it go. So I
Yeah.
love that. That's kind
So
of
when I told you the story about
mhm.
manifesting an ex, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, ex.
Mhm.
I made that manifestation about like this person, like we're meant for each other, like so we know each other. When we see each other, we'll know. That's what I wrote. And I honestly forgot about it. It wasn't until I met him that I went back and I looked through my manifestation journal that I was like, oh, dang, I manifested this like 2 weeks before I met him. Oh, you tried to manifest my ex and I getting back together. Don't do that. It's not meant to be.
I was about to say, we can touch on that, because I would say to that, don't, because I definitely not, so I was telling you this, and I've said this a couple times. I had a really long relationship. So you know how it is when you have a long relationship. You don't really know how to be with anybody else, in a sense, it feels like sometimes. Right. So you do have those moments where you're like, well, do I want that? But let me tell you something, honey. There's a reason why that relationship is not together. I don't know the trajectory of everything that happened, Lily. But for anybody else who's feeling the same, and you're like, well, like, I might want to go back and dabble in a pond that I've already dipped my toes in. Don't. You know, the moment that you let it go for real, you can open it up to so many different things. You're like, yo, you think I'm kidding? I can have a whole session just about what I went through with an ex, and when I finally really let it go, how like my current partner came to me, and it opened me wide open to so many different possibilities. And now, let me tell you something too. When you're holding on to something that's not supposed to be, and you do finally get to that next chapter, you look at that next person and you're like, honey, that person couldn't even come near me at all at this point. Like, my standards are completely different. I'm like, God bless you. You are cool. You're nice as a human being, but you don't stand a chance. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how you'll feel, girl. Just stay.
If you don't, I know some people may be going through something like that right now, and we've been there.
Definitely.
If you want to hear it from me, I promise you, better is out there. Every man that has come it's kind of like evolution. Like, every person gets better and better and better. And as I'm learning in my manifestation period, I need to be more specific. And with that specificity, I want to learn about what I really do like, and then what's really good for me. And honestly, each partner that I've been with, exes, they have taught me what I actually need, and because they weren't giving it to me, and I was like, oh, this is a problem. I didn't even know it was a problem.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know how we got on that, but yes, I manifested my man, and then he was not right for me. Maybe it was at the wrong time. I think it was definitely meant to be, but it probably wasn't meant to be forever.
And then that's another thing. The more you go and evolve through life, you're like, wow, you know, we broke up, but you actually aren't that bad. And I did learn a lot from you, and it's nothing but love, and it's nothing like that. But like you said, a lot of it could just be the timing. Let's just say thanks, ladies, down in the dumps, because I've been having dreams of him being intimate with other women. So thank you. First off, girl, I have definitely, let me tell you something. I have been there. Like, let me tell you, first off, those dreams could be like very like clairvoyant-esque, could be telling you something maybe, but a lot, which is what happened with me, not to get off on that tangent, but before me and my ex broke up, and before I saw that he was with another woman, in my dream, I saw that he was with another woman. And it was a day or two before, and I was like, that's weird. And I woke, and in my dream, my brother pointed and laughed at me in my dream. So that's the only reason why I even told anyone about it. So I woke up that day and I told my brother, I was like, you know, I had a dream that homeboy was already with another girl, and you were laughing at me. So 2 days when it happened, I told him, and he was like, you're kidding. And I was like, I'm not. So it could be clairvoyant, but it also could just be your subconscious and like unconscious mind like telling you,
your subconscious.
Yeah, it could just be your subconscious mind like trying to tap you into the feelings that you had when you were in that relationship.
But also,
the feeling.
Women's intuition is real.
We could do a whole separate thing about women's intuition, and we could get into it. Let me tell you something. When you know something as a woman, you know. I don't need screenshots. I don't need anything else. You feel that, honey, in your soul. So it could be a little of both, girl. It really could. Yes, I love this. I'm like, we were talking about Tulum, and now we're talking about relationships. I love it. The range. It's the range for me, honey. But yes, okay. So you, let me see. Please do a thing about women's intuition. Honestly, I might. That's me. I swear I knew everything.
Women know
everything. We really do. If y'all have any more questions, definitely drop them in the questions tab, because we'll get to them because I'm trying to read them as they're coming up.
Right.
Yes, Max the Blush Beauty said in the soul. You do soul, capital S. You feel it, honey, everywhere. But okay, so back to Tulum until anyone continues to ask us extra questions. So you get there, you manifest this apartment. You've been there for a month. How is it?
I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And let me say what the amazing pieces are. Work-life balance, for one. I did a 4-mile walk this morning. I love it. I had client meetings. I can walk to the beach if I want to. I'm eating fresh food. I'm more active. The sun is always out. So it's like, well, not always. Sometimes it rains, but for like maybe 20 minutes.
What a time.
So it's like mental health, physical health, it's all amazing. And I think what I love about traveling and moving abroad is that everything is new. I feel like I'm a baby again because
like a rebirth
experience. Going to go get a bottle of water is an adventure. Like, going out to dinner, it's all in getting a taxi. It's all an adventure. And just this weekend, oh my God, I snorkeled in the big ass open ocean.
What a
time! First time with whale sharks, which I tell you, I was shaking before I got in the water because I admire.
Understandable.
Right. I admire magnificent things. Like the ocean is huge and magnificent, has depth. Whale sharks are huge and magnificent. And so, but when I got in the water, seeing them, it's the most beautiful thing in my life. But I was on the boat that, took us there. And I'm looking out at the open ocean and I'm just like, I don't want to take anything in my life for granted. Because who would have told me in January 2019, on my birthday, you're gonna all these things are gonna be happening? Who could have told me if
you probably wouldn't have even believed it.
Hell no.
If somebody came up to you and was like, oh yeah, girl, so you're gonna quit your job, you're gonna save up all this money, you're gonna pay off $23,000 of debt, you're gonna get up and you're gonna move to Mexico by yourself, and you're gonna be having the time of your life, you're gonna be like,
do you have the right Kenya?
Who is this?
So living in Tulum has been amazing. The vibes are amazing. Tulum is a very spiritual space. It's not a turn up spot as much as people are like making it seem like it is. And so, which is exactly why I came here, because I wanted rest, rejuvenation, and relaxation. Because after you get out of 9 to 5, you're in corporate America, you're kind of trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to get your money right in a system that is not built for us. You need some rejuvenation. And so that's why I moved to Tulum. Oh God, I forgot to tell you, Kenny.
Tell me, girl. I'm over here writing down, you yelling, and I'm over here writing down rest, rejuvenation, and relaxation. I'm like,
okay. So when I was like restarting my Instagram page to start promoting my business, I already knew I was going to be traveling while also talking about money. So I started posting about places that I wanted to go during my travels. I've never been to Tulum in my life. February 2nd, you can look on my page. I posted about it. February 2nd, I made a post about Tulum. And I said, manifesting like sunlight and water and rest. February 2nd, I've never been to Tulum, whatever. And here I am.
I love this song. That's exactly me. Anytime I'm like, wow, this is a sign. Like, hindsight is 20/20, but going back and looking back and being like,
I did this.
I was doing this the whole time without even actively realizing it. Or like the universe was doing its thing, and I look back and I'm like, okay.
I see why now. I see why this thing happened. I love this. I manifested $30,000 to pay off a hospital bill. I love it. We love
this song.
I manifested that too, like a paid hospital bill. I got like a minor surgery, and I guess the hospital like had this like scholarship or grant program. I think I just maybe applied, did a little form, paid off, nothing.
Boom.
But so the thing as I've also been in Tulum, it's not really Tulum. It's more so, okay, I'm betting on myself because I'm a full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because I'm out of my comfort zone by leaving the States. My intuition, connecting to spirit, higher self, my intuition is out the roof, out the water. Because I have to trust. Like, I have to trust the universe got me. Because I don't have a W-2, a 9 to 5, a trust fund, mommy and daddy. to run to. So all I got is my intuition and my spirit guides. And let me tell,
Wow.
I manifested something as simple as a taxi. Like me and my
Wow.
friend needed a taxi to go to the grocery store, and I'm like, it'll come. I'd be like,
Yep.
oh, I'd be like, if we're looking for we were looking for one of our other friends, and I was like, oh, she's probably in the grocery store, and she was. And it's like it's just, I'm more in tune now because I
Yes.
put myself in a position where I have to surrender. I
Have
have
to
to
be.
trust. And that's been my word of 2020 is surrender. As hard as it has been
Ooh,
for me,
love that.
that's the word.
Which
So
is so funny because that's been my word lately. That's so funny that you said surrender. If you go back and look at the last workshop I did for Soul Sister Network, it was called Surrender to the Sweetness. And it was about surrendering to the sweetness of life. And that word came to me out of nowhere. So even you saying that is like a little sign to me to keep surrendering because I have so many things that are like shifting in my own life right now that I'm like, don't overthink this. Just take the blessing, Kanique. You know what I mean? Like
just take the blessing.
It's like it's so hard sometimes when you are like an overthinker and you're a planner and you're like, is it too soon to do this? Is it like not too soon? Should I surrender? Is this my intuition leading me? Is this doubt that's creeping in? Is the doubt that's creeping? Here's the biggest thing that trips me up. Y'all let me know in the comments if you feel the same way. When my doubt creeps in, I'm like, is this my intuition telling me no? Or is this my doubt, which is coming from my fear and my subconscious? I'm
that's
like,
me.
Help. This is me at all times. I'm like,
I need a sign.
Exactly. Give me a sign. Exactly. That's me. I'm like, honestly, just send me something really clean and clear cut. Yes, I love that. Let it come and let it go, sis. I love that.
Yes. Relax. Let it come. Let it go. Live your best life.
Exactly.
You're supported. You're supported.
So I saw a couple people in the comments already say that they're planning their own move themselves. So for anybody who is actively manifesting their big move, what would be like one piece of advice that you would give them in amongst all this other great advice that you've given, or like maybe the most important thing that you grasp that you feel like got you to Tulum quicker?
Do what's right for you. You're gonna do a lot of research, especially if you're an overthinker and a planner, perfectionist, all that. You're gonna do a lot of research, but at the end of the day, you know what feels right. And also moving abroad, you're gonna get a lot of ideas, suggestions. You're gonna meet a lot of people, a lot of energies. Do what's right for you. And
love that.
I think you have to build this muscle of trusting yourself.
Yes.
And I think the way to start that is by creating spaces in which you're getting nurtured. You are fulfilling your own cup. So
how do you do that?
In terms of money. So saving your money, being clear about where your money is going and budgeting your money, that creates financial security. When you know that your money does not control your spending, like just because you got money doesn't mean you need to spend it. And if you are spending it, you're spending it on things that are aligned with your move. You start to build trust with yourself, financial trust, and security. And then that trust can lead into other things. Like I trust myself in situations that may make me anxious. And I know that I'm trusting my intuition. I trust myself in relationships. That's I trust myself. And actually, even with trust, it also comes with standing your ground. So I told my dad I was moving. He, of course, did not agree. Like, you gonna quit your job? Like, what?
Of course, right?
And the thing was, when
parents of color, they're gonna be like, what?
Right. I was like, when I got on the phone, and I very specifically said, I wanted to let you know this is what I'm doing. I'm not asking for permission. I'm not I receive your advice. I receive, you're my father. You've seen me. You've lived double what I've lived,
Exactly.
However, I know that this is right for me, that I'm willing to let it all. I'm willing to go broke, although that's not going to happen. I'm willing to say, you told me so, whatever. But I know this is right for me. So that's because I trusted myself. I had been in so many situations, moving to New York, moving to Michigan for grad school, being in relationships with people. I trusted myself so much that I was ready finally to stand up to my parents, as opposed to always needing their approval like that. So trust yourself and go with what's right for you. Your journey, I think with travel, there's a lot of narratives out there, which is beautiful because it has representation. But your journey is gonna be your journey.
Yes, I love that. And I also love that you said that you told them what you were going to do instead of asking for permission. Someone
Yeah.
like me, it took me a while to learn that, like, I have really been asking for my family's permission, like, forever. Like, I've
Yes.
always known what I was going to do, but it was like I never had to ask for permission because we were always, like, on the same page with everything, you know? Like, I had pretty much like a cookie cutter, you know? Go to
Right.
high school, do good in high school, go to
Yeah.
college, do good in college, you know, so we were always on the same page. It wasn't until I started doing stuff that wasn't on the same page that I was like, but I don't think I asked for your input. I was just telling you what I was doing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
now I'm
I was
like,
just letting you
okay.
know.
I was
Yeah,
just
I was
letting you
just giving
know.
you a
So
heads up.
now, exactly. Now I have to remind myself, like, okay, girl, you're 26. Like, you're a little grown now. So you don't really need to go and ask your parents
Yeah.
what you need to do. You're just going to let
Right.
them know and be respectful. So I love
Right.
that because that's
We
something
are
that I had to deal
truly
with too.
grown.
Hmm.
We are getting grown.
Hmm. Yeah. Grown, grown, real grown.
Right.
Grown, grown. Grown. We were
And my
talking about
parents
that
still
too.
pay my bills, so
Okay. Well, I'm still on my mother's cell phone plan, so
that's
let me
okay.
not get
If it
too. I'm
saves you
like,
money, that's
let me say something, girl. She tried to kick me off that plane a couple months ago. I was like, no, and I just
no.
and I just dropped it. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be on your cell phone plan forever. I'm probably gonna be a millionaire. Like, but you want me to pay Verizon myself? I don't know
Verizon.
about
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
you better stay
Yes,
on that plan.
exactly. I'm like, what? You want me to pay? Oh, because my
I
mom in the
see. I
comments.
see. K Carter 1913. If that 1913 has anything to do with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, hey Soror.
Okay, because I didn't know you were a Delta girl. The person
Manifested
singing the
that too.
okay, the person sending the eyes, that Kay Carter, that is my mother. So that's why she sent the eyes. I'm like,
Ooh, I'm
I'm like,
sorry.
yeah, girl, I ain't never hopping off that plane, girl. She probably like, oh, really?
Thank you, Mother. We love Verizon. You've done so much for us. Hey, Soror. Yes.
I love it. We love this song. Yes.
I manifested
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Yes.
that was crazy. First, it was my first semester in grad school,
Mhm.
and because my undergrad didn't have our nice undergraduate sorors, and so I didn't really think it was going to happen because especially with grad chapter, you know, you have to be
Mhm.
engrossed in the community, and I literally
Yeah.
there 2 months. I mean, yeah, 2 months prior, but it all happened. I've been praying on it for a long time. Um, so yeah, it all happened how it
Yes.
was supposed to.
Yes. I love it. We love this song. Also, how is it 8:48? I'm over here like now I'm like we're pressed for time. I mean, not really. So let's
Please.
get into the finances.
Oh yes, please.
So I'm like, we definitely have to talk about money. We just started talking about it for real, for real. So I'm like, great segue. So I am definitely like, I wouldn't say appalled, but like crazily surprised that you were able to pay off that much debt.
Yeah, I don't
So
know how much. I don't know how
how,
it happens.
how I was just gonna say, how'd you do it, girl?
Okay,
Help me.
I'll tell you how.
Yes.
First off, so hold on, let me close my window.
Okay. Okay, so move over there turning up, girl.
There's a restaurant right below me. So the person
Oh, okay.
who owns my apartment owns the restaurant. But let me tell you how I paid off $23,000 in credit card debt in eight
We
months.
love it.
First
We
off,
love it.
I was committed. I knew the purpose of me paying off this debt is that I can move abroad without Chase and Capital One and whomever getting on my line. That was the one bill I didn't
Okay.
want. As I also went through the process, I realized that all this money, I gave $23,000 away to all these companies. That could have been my
Mm-hmm.
money. So I really
Yep.
got to the point where I was fed up. And this had been debt
Yep.
that I was accumulating from moving a lot,
Mm-hmm.
also living above my means. I went to Beyonce concert, living
Girl,
my
I'm
best
I'm
life.
curious. Did you get most of it when you were in New York?
Yeah. Oh, and actually,
I
when I was
knew it.
unemployed, and when I was buying furniture when I moved to Florida. But so because
Mm.
I was so committed and I knew my
Mm-hmm.
reasons why, I was like, okay, I need to make some sacrifices. So I could afford my apartment by myself, but I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
free up money, so I got a roommate. That tax return went right towards my credit cards. I had
Mm-hmm.
a very clear budget that I stuck to.
Yes.
I did not let money control my life, meaning
Mm.
just because I have money doesn't mean I need to spend it. So I started implementing what they call no spend days. So I challenged myself. I was like,
Oh, I
I
love
can
that.
go,
I've never heard of that. Tell
oh
me a little
yeah,
bit more about no spend days.
literally go a day without spending money. You got food at home. And what I did, some people count like gas and stuff. I don't count that. Anything I need to pay my bills, like to get me to and from work, obviously I need to spend
Mm-hmm.
that. But any extra spending, like eating out, buying clothes,
Mm-hmm.
travel, gifts, that will
Wow.
count. If I spend that money, that's a day that is not a no spend day. So what I would do
Mm.
is I would just be like, I would try my hardest not to spend money. Well, it really wasn't that hard not to spend money because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
again, I have food at home. I have an AMC membership, so if I want to go to the movies, that's free. I
Yep.
wasn't really buying clothes because I was like, I have a closet of clothes. Some of this stuff I've never even worn. Some of this still has tags
Mm-hmm.
on it, all of this. And it's also like, let's be creative and figure out, well, what kind of new outfits can I make, etc., etc.
Yes, I
So
love that.
got a roommate, no spend days, all extra money went towards my credit card debt. I had decided initially to stop traveling, but the funny thing is I
Mm-hmm.
still continue to travel, but it was more like I would visit my friends and I'll stay with my friends and it was
Mm-hmm.
still amazing. So
Yeah. So it was
let
still
me
like a
see.
financially responsible way to travel.
Exactly. So I was
Yes.
honestly sending about $1,000 a month towards my credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not originally 23,000. It was originally 14,000. But
Mm.
things happen. I needed to move,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went back and did the math and I figured out it was 23K, it's on my page like the averages. So that's really an average of 8 months. I was probably giving $3,000 a month towards
Mm.
credit cards. My
Wow.
take home pay was like 2,500 a month, and
Mm.
my bills were like $1,000 a month. So that just goes to show you how living above your means looks like. Because how in the
Yep.
world am I sending on average $3,000 towards credit cards when my bills are only $1,000? So I'm
Exactly.
definitely living above my means, or I was living above
Exactly.
my means, and now I'm paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. Let's see. When I was moving, this was the hardest
Mm-hmm.
thing for me. I sold my car. It was my first car, my only car.
Oh.
It was paid off. But let me tell you this: my dad, he paid it off for me. Thankfully, he had a VA loan. But the thing is, I had that car for 6 years, and it's an amazing car. But the thing is, the money from that selling that car got me where I am now too. So
Mm.
like, I really thank my dad for doing that because
Yeah.
I never had a car payment before, and
That's
so that was one
beautiful.
way I was saving money. I also switched to Geico. I'm gonna be completely honest, and I
I love
saved.
it. They always say save money by switching to Geico, girl. They're gonna clip this and make it an advertisement on their page.
Yes. I saved 50% off Geico. And even when I was doing
Yes.
spend days, I really still felt very free to spend.
Mm.
Like I was doing still no spend days a month. I was going out to eat. I was buying gifts for my friends for their birthdays. It's
Mm-hmm.
because I started to take the control back in my life. And
Yes.
as opposed to wondering, well, what's in my bank account? Where is my money
Mm-hmm.
going? And it was a matter of, again, staying committed to, well, I need to get the heck out of this country. This is
Yes.
how I know I need to do it. So it's making sacrifices and staying committed, and obviously having a plan. So as a financial coach,
Yes.
I started sharing my own journey, like how am I paying this off? And the plan was, I knew ahead I'm going to be paying $1,000 a month. This is the card I'm focusing on
Mm-hmm.
now. Then this card and XYZ. So having that strategy as well. So it's been an
Yes. A
amazing
woman with a
ride.
plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Let me tell you something. I'm here for all of this. I'm over here like no spend days. Someone in the comments said they're doing no spend September. I'm like,
Yeah, I can't do a whole
I
month.
love to hear it.
I
I'm
know
over
for
here
me.
like,
Yeah.
well, I feel like you probably could finesse. Like, I feel like you're so good with money, clearly, that you're like, okay. But
I
I'm with
can
you.
do it. I
My
can just buy
ministry up and
groceries and stay at
that's
home.
true. Exactly. I could,
Yeah.
if there's ever been a time I could do it, it's now. But that's because of the
COVID.
pandemic and we can't go nowhere. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I've
Yeah.
saved so much. Being in COVID has humbled me because I'm like, I have saved so much money by not spending anything. And it's also like, I'm not going to buy an outfit. I'm in the house. Who's seeing me? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I'm not going to go out. If I spend money on anything, it's food. But
Exactly.
But now I'm like,
and that's already built into your budget. So with my budget and client budgets, I believe in having space for you, because it's unrealistic for you to sacrifice and, you know, eat rice and beans and not have any spending money at all. Even if it's as little as $20, $40, you have to have it in your budget, because you're a human being, and we're in a consumer society where you want to spend money. It's tied to dopamine, you know? So you need these things in order to continue to stay consistent with your plan, stay motivated with your plan of savings or debt. Another thing, I was not getting unemployment during COVID. So I wish I was, because obviously that would have kickstarted that would have helped my debt payment. But my stimulus check did go to credit card debt. So yeah, but I mean, it's great, you know, snaps now. But again, I look back and I'm like, all money could have been mine.
Exactly. But the key is, now the money that you are making is yours, boo. It's all yours, honey. So, okay, that's mine. Also, I guess this is the way that we can wrap it up, for people to tell you about how they can still get in touch with you and keep in touch with you, because we only have about 3 minutes left. And I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm over here. I have so many jewels. And like I was telling you before, like, if there's anything that I'm actively trying to manifest, that I know the more I look into it, I have blocks of my own that now I can see, it's money. It's like changing my relationship with money, changing my relationship with my debt, getting serious about my debt, tackling that, so that now I'm not paying like off these same credit cards I've had for years. All the money I'm making from this is mine.
It's actually yours, working for yourself, as opposed to working for the credit card company.
Exactly.
So, I will say, where was I going to end this at? So, okay, all my money now is mine. Okay, someone would say like, oh, what about taxes? So I live in Florida. I don't live in Florida, but my residency is in Florida. I don't pay any state income tax. And as I grow my business and I grow my wealth, I have found the way rich people get around taxes, I'll be doing the same thing. So the federal government ain't taking my money either. So that's one thing.
Love to hear it.
We love to hear
definitely
it.
Sprinkle that in a conversation that me and you have after, because I'm like, I want to keep my money too. Like the rich folks.
You hit the nail on the head around your blockages. So that's really this is what makes me different for any other like financial coach or even a financial advisor, is because I get to the spiritual and the emotional root of your relationship with money. Because there is a such thing as financial trauma. There is a such thing as, you know, limiting and negative beliefs around how you see money, how you make money, how you use money, what money is used for, what's the purpose of money in your life. And so we unearth those things, we uncover those things, and then we get clear on what actually works for you in your life, in your situation. So my coaching is very relatable, it's very personable, and all of the very like, you know, things like the personal finance things that are super, super confusing, I can spit that to you, like, you know, from the block, you know, because that's who I am. I had to learn all these things for myself, just like I teach it to other people. So I think I pride myself on, as I learn, y'all learn. Whatever questions you have, let me know. So, and a way to stay in contact with me, definitely follow me on my page. Actually, even if you don't follow me, be in my DMs, because you will probably get a lot of free advice and content from my page and from my DMs. But that also stops at a time, because I have my boundaries and I can't be giving away everything for free. A girl got to eat. I still got rent to pay. And so right now I offer all the time one-on-one 90-minute intensive sessions. So this is 90 minutes. We're going to get down to the root of your relationship with your money. Where's that stemming from? And we're going to start creating a plan moving forward. So that could be savings, debt, budgeting, investing, anything. You leave with clear action steps, and we're going to do a follow-up call a month later. So that's all in 90 minutes. That's a one-time session. Everyone, you can also sign up to be on the wait list for one-on-one clients. So a part of my rest and relaxation, I decided I'm going to stop taking one-on-one clients for the rest of the year. However, on January 8th, we back in there like swimwear. So you can, on the waiting list to be a one-on-one client, and that's 3 months intensive VIP all access to me. We talk about any and all things related to your personal and or business finances. And you get 24/7 access to me, messaging off Instagram. You get 2
Yes.
sessions a month. Amazing things. And then if you want,
Yes, I'm.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love this. I don't want us to get cut off. We have 20
Oh,
seconds left. So I just want to highlight you do one-on-one coaching. You have a wait list right now for continued coaching at different levels.
yeah.
Guys, definitely follow Kenya. Thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. You were incredible, Kenya. It's about to cut us off now, but I